Okay, I'm live, or at least I should be live. Yep, it says I'm live. Hello, zero people. Usual. Just wait a few minutes for people to file on, and while I just ramble to myself for a little bit, killing some time again, waiting for more people to file in. What to talk about? Oh, apologies for looking like hell today. Oh God, my hair is all fucking. I got a haircut a few weeks ago before the college semester started, but I tried combing my hair like right before the stream started, but it wasn't going down, and I'm like, just whatever. It's not like I really care that much about looking professional in these streams, but oh God, it's really bad today. I'm sorry, but whatever. I don't think any of you really care. Hello, Robert. Hello, Jackson. Hello, Corbin. I should say. How are the two of you doing today? Me personally, I'm doing well, I suppose. Oh no, nothing really going on today. Just like most days, really. I don't do much on most days. Hello, young Big Mac on the block. We out here. Okay. How are you doing? Doing pretty decent. That's cool. I didn't wait until the very end of the month this time to do a stream. Right smack dab in the middle of September. Yeah, September 15th. There's only 30 days in September. Can you fucking believe it's already September? Like, what the fuck? Where does the time go? Felt like 2 minutes ago the year started, but then again, that's like every year for me. Every year just zooms on by. 1 minute a year starts, and the next minute another year ends. What the fuck? Why does time go by so quickly? At least for me. I've had other people tell me, no, time goes by really slowly, and I'm sometimes kinda envious of that because I don't want time to just, you know, slip through the slip through my hand like that. Before we know it, it's gonna be 2024. Ooh, already gonna be 4 years into this decade, into this very, very interesting, totally normal decade. Jesus. It's weird, 2019, on one hand, feels like forever ago, but on the other hand, also feels like it was a lifetime ago. Because it's only been 4 years, but at the same time, so much shit, at least for me, but for a lot of you, I'm sure, because, current events and such, um, so much shit has happened. So, yeah. Oh god, that was the year I graduated high school. Hello, Comic Zans. How are you doing? Yo, yo. This year is flying by. It feels like yesterday was Christmas. It really does. Really does feel that way. And before you know it, it's going to be Christmas again and the end of another year. Again, what the fuck? It's just surreal. It really is. I can't wait for Spider-Man 2 to come out in October. Oh, hell yeah. I'm really excited for Spider-Man 2. It's funny, I don't give a shit really about comic book superheroes or any of that. I don't watch Marvel movies or DC or read comic books, but the Spider-Man PlayStation games are a big exception. Those are really fun games. I loved Spider-Man 2018. Really enjoyed Miles Morales. Could have been a little longer, but still overall a really solid, middle entry. And now we're finally getting the proper sequel to 2018. It's gonna be dope, I'm sure. I don't think I'll get it, like, on launch day or anything. Maybe it'll be, like, a Christmas present or something, but, yeah, I'm still really looking forward to playing that game. Looks super fun. Hello, big guy 45s. How are you doing? Hope you're all doing well, happy, and healthy. Every week, it feels like it flies by really fast, too. Like, one minute it's Monday, the next minute it's Friday. Anyway, I got a severe weather warning on my iPhone. Every time I open the weather app, it says this coastal flood statement until 5 a.m. Sunday, September 17th. And if you're in my Discord server, you probably know my basement floods quite a bit, not like all the time or anything, but periodically, especially during this time of the year, August and September. That's usually when, that's usually hurricane season and when the rain is at its worst over here. Fucking hate it. Like a few weeks ago, or was it a month ago already? I forget, but had to stay down in the basement until like 5 a.m. getting water out of there. Wasn't like a severe flood or anything, not like it was up to my knees or anything, but still quite a bit of water came in. Had to be down there and stuff for like 3 hours with a water vacuum, getting the water the fuck out. That's a lot of fun. Oh, Charlie wants to leave. Yeah, Charlie was here. If you didn't notice, he was uh, sitting behind me for a few. Alright, now that that was taken care of. Oh yeah, Nirvana shirt. The same Nirvana shirt I'm sure you've seen a million people wear. Nirvana is my favorite clothing brand. Not really. Well, even all these years later, I still don't really care that much about people wearing the band T-shirts or a T-shirt that has a band's logo, that has the logo of a band that they don't listen to. I'm just like, I don't fucking care. Clothes at the end of the day, but, like 100 people in the comment section in an old video I made talking about that got really fucking mad. Feels like yesterday it feels like just yesterday was September 1st, and we're already mid-month. Yeah, it's wild. Really fucking wild. We're already right in the middle of September. Again, September has 30 days, so yeah, right in the middle. Sheesh. Wake me up when September ends. Maybe I shouldn't joke about that because I think Billy Joe Armstrong doesn't like people joking about that song. I can't really say I blame him though, considering what the song is about. Got a PS2 pretty recently, kind of surprised on how fun, games used to be compared to most games now. I have fun with modern games, but yeah, I play on a GameCube. I switch periodically between a PS5 and a GameCube. I play on the PS5 for a while, and then when I get bored of it, I switch over to the GameCube, and then when I get bored of that, go back to the PS5 or maybe even play on my Switch. Breaking new territory. But no, really. But yeah, I have fun with games, with both old games and new games. Weird question. I've been considering moving out of state, specifically a Democratic state like Virginia. What are some steps I should take? I'm the wrong person to ask because I have never moved in my life. I've been in the same house my entire life, same state, of course. I mean, how would I be in the same house if I ever lived out of state? Anyway, so yeah, you're probably gonna have to ask someone else who has experience with moving, especially cross country or outside of or to a different state. I'm assuming you live in a red state currently. In that case, I don't blame you for wanting to get the fuck out. I've lived in NYC my entire life, which is one of the most socially progressive uh, places in this entire country, and I consider myself very lucky to be born here. I mean, of course, I have my problems with NYC, and it's not perfect by any means, but still, I would prefer to live here as opposed to, like, bumfuck Tennessee or whatever. Yeah, I can't imagine what that's like. I already hear the moving process sucks, but I can't imagine the moving process. Yeah, I already hear the moving process, when it comes to moving from one neighborhood to another sucks, but I can't imagine the moving process for moving to another state. Ugh. Hello, the wheat greatness. How are you doing? A swing state. Yeah, I'd rather live in a solid blue state. Yeah, I get that. Tennessee, especially Memphis, is a terrible place. I know someone from there, and they hear gunshots constantly. Holy shit. Yeah, I don't really hear gunshots here in NYC because the gun nut culture doesn't really, I wouldn't say it doesn't exist here, but it's not, prevalent like it is in, a place like, again, Tennessee. Doing fine. How are you doing? I'm doing pretty decent, I suppose. Nothing much going on in my life, but then again, nothing much really ever goes on in my life. As sad as that may sound, it's whatever. I don't have any problem with that. But yeah, to the other person, I wish you the best of luck when it comes to getting out of where you currently are, wherever that may be. I have heard about the WGA strike. Oh, messenger track. But yeah, I firmly stand with the writers and actors who are currently on strike. Fuck the executives. Oh, you're from Michigan? Oh. Well, Michigan, I hear, well, at least politically speaking, is it that bad? I haven't heard, terrible things about, well, there, well, certain cities, yeah, at least when it comes to, like, crime and, uh, and, other aspects of that nature, but, is Michigan that bad? I guess it depends on where in Michigan you live. I mean, isn't Flint considered the most dangerous city in this country? Or at least it was at one point. I don't know if it still holds that, I don't know if it still holds that title. Gretchen, our governor, has a notorious reputation, especially with the right wingers. Yeah. Yeah, I hear a little bit about Michigan, but I'm not really that well versed in, uh, Michigan politics. Have you heard about the United Auto Workers strike? Yeah, I have. I have. A lot of strikes going on lately, especially the, Writers Guild strike. Already brought that up, but yeah, I firmly support the, actors and writers going on strike. They deserve proper compensation. It's so funny watching hearing all these people say, "Oh, these people are so entitled. They're spoiled brats. These are Hollywood actors, Hollywood writers." When in reality, a lot of actors, a lot of writers, you know, they they're not properly compensated. They don't receive the compensation they deserve. Not every actor, you see on TV is a multimillionaire, A-list celebrity. There's a lot of character actors that are lesser known that, don't receive the payments and benefits they deserve. Do those people not matter at all? Well, I already know the answer to that, when it comes to the kind of people I'm referring to. Without the actors, without the writers, these Hollywood celebrities, these streaming services, I mean, executives, not celebrities, streaming services, all that shit would have nothing, would be nothing. Either that or the high cost of living is astronomically high in places like Los Angeles. It's kind of sad. It is sad, you know? Here in New York, it's not that much better. Really expensive to live here, especially here in NYC. My dad lives all the way up by the Canadian border, American side. I wonder what that's like. I've never really been to upstate New York all that much. I used to have an aunt and uncle that lived up there, and then they moved to Florida. Well, actually, they did move back to upstate New York just last year because, their their kids live here, and their kids, well, they're fully grown now. They're in their 20s, and I think one of them is in their early 30s, and one of them is a parent now, so they wanna be there for, their grandchildren. But, I remember it being really nice up there, but I haven't been to upstate New York in fucking years. I have a grandmother on my parents' side. I mean, my father's side, my paternal grandmother lives down in Florida. I visited her 2 years ago, which was really nice. My family member has a nurse job, and she can only get by paycheck to paycheck, yeah. It's really fucking terrible, an essential job like a nurse, a job that, you know, involves you helping people who are in need of medical attention is a job that, you could just barely scrape by with. Really, puts into perspective how seriously this country took the, respect essential workers talking point, back when COVID first began, when, lockdown first began. That sentiment went right out the fucking window. I haven't been to NYC since 2016. It was so funny, when, my father is dating this woman. She has one kid, one of her sons is, I think, either 15 or 16. I think 16 by now, and the other, at least when I saw them, was, 11, I think. It was so funny, where they came down because, we were having a surprise birthday party for one of my uncles who was turning 60 at the time, and, it was so funny. This was they're from upstate New York where my father is, and, they were, like, so awestruck seeing NYC because they have never been down here before. It's like another fucking world to them when for me, I live here. I've lived here my whole life, so it's nothing special to me. Have I heard about Hurricane Lee? I have. I don't know if that's a hurricane that's headed towards me, though, or affects me. I haven't really looked into Hurricane Lee. I just heard of it. Oh god, I fucking hate hurricanes. Like I said, my basement floods periodically now. For the last 2 years, it's been flooding periodically. I mean, that not to say before 2 years ago, my basement has never flooded. It has in the past, but it was that usually happened when we would have, like, severe rain, like a hurricane coming here, a really strong hurricane, I mean. I remember I remember I very vaguely remember Katrina. Uh, our basement, uh our basement that was probably the worst flood my basement ever had. I was, like, 4 or 5, I forget, no, it was 2005, so I was 4. I think the, water was literally up to, well, I didn't go down there, of course, because I was a little kid, but I think I saw my uncle and my grandma and my mother and the other uncle. I think the water was up to their knees. We haven't had a flood like that in the basement ever since. God willing, that doesn't happen again, but still, I've had water come into my basement, and I've had to spend hours down there several times in the past 2 years getting the water the fuck out of the basement. It's supposed to be near New England. Oh, I see. Hurricane season is a lot of fun. I've only experienced Hurricane Ike. Hurricane was bad. I don't remember Ike. Well, I don't think it where I am, so that's probably why I don't remember it. Yeah, like I said, every time I go into the weather app on my phone, for the past day or 2, it says coastal flood statement, and it's in effect until 5 AM Sunday, September 17th. It's a lot of fucking fun. Even though I look at the 10-day forecast on my app, it doesn't say anything about rain this weekend. I don't know. I don't know. Rain, rain, go away. Come again. Never. Okay, I know we need rain, but I'm just really frustrated with all the fucking flooding that happens in my basement. I just realized it's been 2 years. I think it was September 2021 when Hurricane Ida hit here. NYC was hit hard, and I guess I should count my blessings because, my basement did flood, but it could have been a lot worse. There's really crazy videos on here on YouTube, I think, of people here in NYC, they're during that, their walls cave in or their roof caved in, nothing extreme like that happened to my house, thank God. Could've been a lot worse. Those were really fucking scary videos because, again, those videos were filmed here in New York City, that could've been my house that happened to. It's been nice and cool here in New Jersey today. Same thing here in New York, nice and cool. Finally getting breeze, I can finally open the window. The breeze here has been great. I was so fucking over the heat wave. I was so fucking over heat wave after heat wave after heat wave. It's been nonstop heat since, like, late June or July. It's finally cooling down. Thank the fucking Lord. And it's gonna be fall in a few days. Oh, what day is the 21st? In 6 days from now, it'll be fall. Even though I never really cared about fall as a season, I'm looking forward to the change in seasons. By the end of each season, I'm just really over the weather. Like, again, I'm just over the summer. I'm over the heat, and it seems like the heat is over, or at least I hope it is. And for the next 10 days, it's gonna be in the 70s. The hottest day will be the next Sunday, or this Sunday rather, and next Sunday. 78 degrees, which is alright. 70-degree weather is just perfect for me, especially when there's a breeze. It's not too hot, not too cold, just that perfect balance. Wish it was like that all year round. The only heat wave we had here was earlier this month. Here in New York, it was really bad, the heat. There were so many days where it'd be in, like, the late 80s or even the 90s or even the high 90s on certain days. It was brutal. I'm looking forward to that being over, God willing. Well, with climate change and all, don't be surprised if we're in, like, December and one day it's, like, 90 degrees. But, yeah, every time a season ends, I'm looking forward to the next season beginning because I just like the change in weather. I get tired of it being constantly hot or constantly cold, but every season I have my gripes with. Like I said, with the summer, the heat, fall. I mean, now that I think about it, I don't really have too many complaints about fall. I was just kind of found fall to be kinda depressing, though, with the leaves on the ground, and here in New York, a lot of the time, it's cloudy in fall. I just kind of associated that season with depression, even though I don't have seasonal depression. Fall doesn't trigger any depression within me, but whatever. Winter, I fucking hate snow. Spring would absolutely be my favorite season if I didn't get horrible allergies every year. Well, this year wasn't so bad when it came to seasonal allergies for me. Uh, it was only bad for, like, 1 week in, I think, April, and then after that, I was fine. I mean, I still had itchy eyes a little bit, but it wasn't horrible like it usually is. Just that 1 week, it was horrible. I feel bad for the school kids here in NYC. The school year just started, like, a week ago. I think it was the 7th. That was the first day of school here in New York City. My condolences to them, unless, or besides the kids that enjoy going to school, of course. I'm glad those days are behind me. I mean, I'm going to college, but it's a lot more enjoyable than high school was. It's a semester only lasts a few months as opposed to high school being, what, from September to June here in NYC. I'm too lazy to do math right now. But, it's not several months like a school year is. 9 months. or approximately 9 months. School year here is. So how are all of you doing? Everything all right with all of you? Oh yeah. Uh, I didn't watch the Nintendo Direct yesterday, but I've only seen like highlights of it. Paper Mario: The Thousand Year Door finally got a re-release, or is getting a re-release. It's not re-released. It didn't come out yet. It's coming out in 2024. But happy about that because if you wanted to play the game legally, if you wanted to have a copy of the game, your only option for a long time was going on eBay or whatever other online retailer and forking up like $150 or more. Jesus. Hope more GameCube games get re-released because the prices for a lot of GameCube games are just brutal. I mean, it's worth it for me because, like I've said a million times, I love the system. I like collecting for it, but there's a lot of other people not willing to pay those prices. And if they want to have like an actual copy of the game in their hands, that's the only option they have. I've just been glancing at Google Maps. I remember when I was a kid, I used to like looking at Google Maps a lot, especially like looking at, typing in my address and seeing my house on there. That was always really cool to me for whatever reason. And just looking at my neighborhood on Google Maps. It's especially cool since some pictures of my neighborhood on Google Maps is like 15 plus years old. So it was nice to see like really old pictures of my neighborhood on there. But I haven't done that in a long time. And yes, someone is vacuuming outside of my door. If that bothers you, oh well. It'll it'll probably end soon. This is probably like autism 101, but I never liked the sound of a vacuum cleaner. It's always bothered me because, sensory issues and such. Also really hated trains when I was a kid. Not so much these days. Trains are cool. I haven't been on a train in a long time, but whenever I'm on the rare occasion I am on one, it's an enjoyable experience. But when I was a kid, I really hated trains because of how loud they were. The vacuum cleaners or lawn mowers and such, yeah, always bothered me. Even as an adult, I'm not the biggest fan of those sounds. Oh yeah, the iPhone 15 was revealed the other day. Forgot about that. I got a regular 14. I wanted a Pro, but the Pro was outside of my budget, which is unfortunate because that island thing Pro was kind of cool. But I think that's coming to the regular 15 now, so I'm assuming that's going to be a standard for iPhones in the future. But I'm pretty content with my normal 14. It's not that much of a difference from my 11. I had an iPhone 11 before this phone, and it was, I mean, it served me well, but by the end, that phone couldn't even last an entire day, or at least or like an entire day of college, rather. I would just be there for like a few hours, and already my iPhone 11 would be down to like, I don't know, 20%. The batteries on these things were not made to last. I mean, I know that's the point, of course. They want you to buy another phone, and, I complied. I got a new iPhone a few months ago. And I've been using, Apple products since I was, like, 10. Well, no, actually, my first Apple product ever was an iPod Classic, the 5th generation, back when I was, like, I don't know, 6. Um, but, when it comes to, like, iOS products, my first one was an iPad 2 back in 2011, yeah, 2011, Christmas of 2011, I got that. I was 10 years old, and I've been using iOS ever since. I'm just so used to the operating system at this point. I mean, I know people, you know, whine incessantly about, how terrible iPhones are, how bad iOS is, how restrictive iOS is compared to Android, but, I'm so used to iOS at this point, I don't see myself ever switching. I mean, it serves me well. Does a good enough job for me. But the 15 now, I mean, I just got an iPhone 11 a few months ago, so no 15 for me. Uh, it's fine, I'll live. I don't really care that much. 16, I don't know, maybe, but if not, I'll probably get a 17, which is 2 years from now, and probably by then, this iPhone would have suffered the same fate, barely lasting a few hours before it's near dead. 'Cause that's how old these iPhones are because Apple wants you to buy a new phone. I had an iPhone my first iPhone was an iPhone 6 when I got that Christmas of 2014, so I was 13 at the time. And I had that phone all the way up until 2018. Was it 18 or 19? Yeah, it was 18, actually. That phone completely went off the rails, like, it eventually got to a point where it was, like, nearly unusable, it was laggy as hell. It would even shut off randomly at certain points, and I would need to charge it for, like it would stay on the dead battery screen, and I would charge it for, I don't know, 20 minutes before the phone would finally turn on again, and then one day the phone just didn't turn on anymore. Apple was like, "Sorry, we can't fix it, it's fucked." You had to get an iPhone 8. I wanted a 10, but, again, it was out of my budget. The, iPhone 14 Pro was, I should say. But I managed to bring that iPhone 6 back to life, kinda, sorta. It's dead again, but I know how to make it turn on again. It's really weird. It needs heat, so I just hold it up to a toaster and then it turns on. Shout out UAW workers. I did bring that up, like, I don't know, 20 minutes ago. Someone else brought it up in the chat. I am fully in support of, workers getting the compensation they deserve. I also brought up the, writer and actor strike that's been going on. Fully support that too. Hope they get the raises they deserve. They absolutely deserve raises. They absolutely deserve to, have a livable wage. Hot labor summer, lots of great organizing going on. Oh, yeah, definitely. I mean, we've been hearing nonstop about the, about the, Writers Guild strike, and it's great. Absolutely great. Again, I can't stand the people who are like, "Oh, these are Hollywood actors, Hollywood writers. Why should we care about them throwing a temper tantrum?" When again, not all actors are A-list celebrities. Not all of them are multimillionaires. A lot of them are, you know, just regular Joe Schmoes that, barely scrape by with their acting job or writing job. I can't understand why people are anti-union because they feed they fall for anti-union propaganda hook, line, and sinker. They buy into the talking points that these people are entitled, they're spoiled, you know, they're taken care of so well, so why would they ever need to complain? And that's not the case at all. Far from it. I think an eyelash fell on my eye. It's been bothering me for the last few minutes. Do I have a favorite fast food place? I don't know, it's all the same shit to me. Um, but I guess the closest thing that comes to a favorite fast food place of mine is, I don't know, McDonald's because that's the one that's everywhere here. I mean, of course, there's Burger Kings and Wendy's and such, but they're not as you don't see those as much as you see McDonald's, and, if there's absolutely nothing else and I'm hungry, there's usually a McDonald's around, so that's the place I have the most, but I usually just try to stay away from fast food. The last time I had McDonald's was last month. I had jury duty, and, thankfully, I didn't have to stay for that long. They called my name up with, like, I don't know, 50 or maybe a little less, maybe like 40 other people or maybe even 30 something people. I thought we were gonna head into a courtroom, but they just took us into the hallway and said, "Well, the case you were assigned to was adjourned. You can go home. Here's a paper proving that you did your service." I was like, "Oh, cool," and I was really fucking hungry. I was waiting to get picked up, and the only place that was around there around the courthouse was a McDonald's, so I had that, but, in general, I try to stay away from fast food. There's a lot of great local places here in NYC. I don't really see any need for fast fucking food. Do I work a wagey job? Not currently. Speaking of strikes, a federal railroad strike last year was averted, thankfully. I heard of that, yeah. Speaking of McDonald's, I remember this kid in one of my classes in elementary school had McDonald's all the goddamn time. Like, it took up, like, most of what they ate. That just popped into my mind now. Speaking of McDonald's, I would hope their diet has changed since. I mean, considering it's been 10 plus years, maybe it has. I've spoken with that kid since elementary school, though. What the fuck is going on in the news? I haven't looked today, 'cause I'd rather spare myself from being depressed before streaming. Hardly ever any there's hardly ever any good shit going on in the news. Whenever I wanna get depressed and look at news, I just look at Twitter. That's the doom scrolling site. And yes, I still call it Twitter. I will never cede, call it X. Fuck that. Still like one of the dumbest brands ever. You take such an iconic name, such an iconic logo, the name Twitter and the bird logo, that's been ingrained in popular culture for nearly 20 years. Twitter even had its own fucking saying for posts on there. Tweets. You didn't say posts, you said tweets. But Elon did away with all of that just to call the fucking site X, like, every time I get a notification on there, it looks like I got a notification from a porn app, to the point where I turn off notifications for Twitter just in case someone else is, like, looking at my phone or using it for a second, and I get a notification from there. They're like, "You got a notification from an app called X. What is that?" No, I'd rather spare myself from that. Zitter. Uh, Xi Jinping. Really reminds you that CEOs don't care what you think, and they'll make as many bad decisions as they want, especially if they live in, especially if they live in a bubble like Elon Musk does. He's just surrounded by he's one of the dumbest motherfuckers on the planet, yet he has so much money, and he's surrounded by yes men who won't ever say no to him. So he just goes along with dumbass decision after dumbass decision while keeping up the delusion in his mind that he is this genius that's changing the world. He's making X the everything app. Yeah, okay. Like I would really wanna do really wanna connect my bank account to X. That wasn't that something he wanted to do as well? To do, like, your banking on there? No, thank you. He also wanted to name PayPal X back in the day, still at PayPal, but he wasn't the sole owner of PayPal, so the other people in there were like, "That's a stupid fucking name," and that was shut down, and now, like, I don't know, nearly 30 years later, unionize X and change it back to Twitter. I am still firm in the belief that he eventually is gonna sell Twitter off, and whoever buys Twitter is just gonna revert it back to the way it was before Elon, or at least that's the best case scenario, and that's what I'm happens. No way Elon would allow the employees at Twitter to unionize, though. At Tesla, he's busted a lot of unions, or at least busted, unions before they even actually started at Tesla. He'd make sure he would get that shit squashed quick. But yeah, that's honestly what I'm hoping happens. Maybe it won't, I don't know, but, I have a feeling eventually it's gonna come to the point where he's like, "Fuck this." Yeah, I don't feel like playing around with this site anymore. I wanna move on to a different toy, and then he'll just sell off Twitter, and then whoever acquires it after that just changes it back to the way it was. Because I contrary to what some may believe, I don't hate Twitter. I think it's a way to get a lot of information. I like the, text-based style, and there's, a lot of people there that I follow, and I like looking at their tweets and such. I kinda stay in my own bubble, my own lane on Twitter. I don't really look at certain sectors of Twitter that might be really toxic. I mean, I do look at a lot of political posts, so I guess I do take a lot of toxicity on Twitter through that, but, no, there's a lot of, toxic corners of Twitter that I don't pay attention to, and I don't hate the site or anything. I just fucking hate what's being done to it. But I'm on Bluesky now, so I guess it's all good. I still have a Bluesky code available, but that's reserved for someone who was having trouble getting in, and I don't know what the fuck happened with that. Maybe I should ask them after this stream, whatever happened with that. EDP got caught in another sting operation, and the guy there was dressed as a cupcake. Yeah, I heard about that. I watched quite a few videos about that. Maybe I would talk about it, but, well, 1, I don't really have anything really interesting or new to add, and 2, a lot of people are getting their videos taken down just for even talking about it, or even in some cases, people are getting their fucking channels terminated for talking about it, so, yeah, I don't know if I'll ever make another EDP video ever again, because how dare people talk about a known child predator that was huge on this website for many years. Like, to an extent, I understand why YouTube would wanna crack down on amateur sting op videos because they wanna avoid potential legal trouble in case, maybe the person who was the subject of the sting op may be innocent or anything along those lines. But this was a sting op, or or I don't think it was even really a sting op, they were just confronting EDP, and EDP had no knowledge of, what was going down. Um, he wasn't there to meet a who he thought was another rich girl or anything. I think they, surprised him in front of a clinic or whatever, but anyway, this was something that was done in cooperation with law enforcement. It wasn't like the last sting op where, a group of clowns just wanted some clout and, they exposed, a predator that was huge on this website for years, which is a good thing, of course, but, that they completely fumbled their investigation. The police couldn't use the evidence that they provided because, that technically falls under entrapment because EDP didn't reach out to the decoy first. The decoy reached out to EDP, so, that ended up getting thrown in the trash by law enforcement, but this time, it seems like it's being done correctly and properly. But for whatever reason, YouTube is getting so bent over people talking about it, and it's taking down videos or even channels talking about this subject. So, yeah, that's something I wanna avoid. I've already spoken my piece about EDP several times on this channel anyway, so, yeah. Hey, Guitar Rocker, what's up? How are you doing? But, yeah, there'll probably be no more EDP videos on this channel, at least so long as YouTube is, taking down videos and channels who discuss them. It's fucking crazy. Got back from a date I had about an hour ago. Oh, wow. Who's the lucky person? Nah, I was just joking. You don't have to say if you don't want to. What did I think of the new direct? I didn't watch the direct, or at least I didn't watch it. I just saw some highlights of it, and, I did mention this earlier in the stream. I am happy that Thousand Year Door is finally getting a fucking rerun. Holy shit. Okay, let me rant for a minute. That game was rotting on ancient hardware for 20 years. The remake is coming out next year. 2024, we're more than 20 years since, Thousand Year Door originally released on the GameCube. For the longest time, if you wanted to play that game legitimately, not in an emulator or anything, of course, um, you had to fork up like 150 to 200 fucking dollars. Same thing with a lot of other GameCube games that Nintendo can't be preserved. But I guess I shouldn't be that mad because, like, I finally going to get a re-release, and, hopefully that means copies of the OG are gonna, drop down in price dramatically. But aside from that, I don't really have much to say about the Direct. I'm looking forward to Super Mario Wonder. That looks like it'll be a it's also gonna be the first Mario game without Charles Martinet, right? I don't think he's the voice for that game. That was really bittersweet, him leaving. I don't know if he's retiring from voice acting in general or he's just retiring from, Mario, voicing Mario. I don't know the specifics. Really bittersweet seeing him go. Whoever replaces him has some major fucking shoes to fill, though. It was a fun time. We talked for about 2 and a half hours. Nice. Your mic is cutting out a bit. Uh-oh. Mic is cutting out. Is it fine now? Has it been cutting out? It usually happens if it's been a while since people complain about my mic cutting out. Usually that happens when the internet is unstable, but usually YouTube says something. It goes quiet, then back to normal. Mm, wait a minute. Is that any better? I turned up the input volume. For whatever reason, the input volume was so fucking low. I don't know if that changed anything, though. Maybe that was the problem. Sounds a little bit better, yeah, okay, cool. I'll take a little bit better. I don't know why the fuck it did that, though. Usually the, input volume on my microphone is, like, right in the middle, not too loud, not too quiet, but for whatever reason, it was almost near the, uh it was almost completely near the, left side, which is completely quiet. I wonder if that was a problem in other streams. I never rewatched these streams, by the way, or at least almost never. Anyway, I'm glad you had a fun date, or at least what sounds like was a fun date. Me, before I streamed, I did fucking nothing. I woke up at like 2 in the afternoon, had breakfast, uh, I pet Charlie for a little bit, and then I streamed, or started this stream, I should say. Speaking of an uneventful day, my week in general has been pretty uneventful, but that's most weeks for me. Most of what I've been doing is just college work. Oh, that feels nice. A big breeze is coming through my window right now. Again, like I said, it's so nice that the weather is finally, uh, getting cooler. Feels like I was in college forever ago after a little over a year of graduating. Like I said, earlier in this stream, around the time the stream began, it's crazy how time flies. Like, one minute it feels like a year is just starting, and then the next minute the year is fucking ending, you know? I also said this earlier, but I'll say it again. 2019 feels like both a lifetime ago and 5 minutes ago because it was only 4 years ago. It's not that long ago, but, it's just, so much shit has happened between then and now. And already we're in fucking September. Jesus Christ. Yeah, exactly. So much has happened that it feels like long ago. Yeah, it does. Most certainly does. I've had people tell me, "No, the time feels like it's going by so slowly," which, for me, I can't relate because, for me, it feels like time is going by so quickly. But at the same time, again, like I said, years like 2019 feel both forever ago and like yesterday. It's a it's a weird feeling that I can't really explain that well. But honestly, unlike high school, I do kinda miss college sometimes. I'm probably gonna miss college. This is my last semester, by the way. I don't know. I might. I already kinda miss my community college. That was a really nice college. Not to say the college I'm at currently is bad or anything, but, my community college was really nice. And I was only physically there for a semester and a half. My first semester was in fall of 2019. Of course, that was all in person, and then the semester after that was spring 2020. Only spent a little over a month physically going to classes that semester. I started in late January, spent all of February going to class in person, of course, and then early March, that's when everything shut down. Had to transition to, online classes. Half of the classes I'm taking this semester were online, or are online, I should say. Um, I'm taking 2 classes in person, and the other 2 are, online lectures that I tune into on Wednesdays, and Thursdays. So I only physically go into college, 2 days. Mondays, both of my classes are in person, and Wednesday, I have 1 in-person class, and the other class is completely online. Online classes kinda sucked because I liked in-person stuff, but they were also easier in some ways. Yeah, in general, um, yeah, online classes were, kinda sucky, but at the same time, I did like them because I could do them in the comfort of my own bedroom. A lot of the times when, I'm listening to a lecture, I'm just laying down in bed, whereas, of course, you can't do that if you're actually in a classroom, you gotta sit at a desk. I don't know about any of you, but it's always been really hard for me to just sit still in the same spot for a long period of time, like, one class I have can be, like, over 2 hours long, which is, my last class on Mondays. Like, by the end of it, I'm just ready to burst out of my fucking seat. Like, I like, I gotta, like I just feel the urge to get up and stretch my legs. I don't like just sitting down in the same spot for a long period of time. Well, thankfully, that professor, who teaches that really long class, he does, give us a break in the middle, like a 20-minute break. So it's not, I get to, walk around and stretch my legs for at least 20 minutes during that class. I feel that helps to get up and walk a little bit, yeah. It also doesn't help that I always feel the urge to just move my leg, like, if I'm sitting down, a lot of the times I'm just rocking my leg up and down. It's always been an issue for me. Back to, time going by so quickly, I can't believe next month is gonna be spooky month, AKA October, AKA, the month Halloween falls on. Who the fuck knows if I'll even get trick-or-treaters this month, or this year, I mean. I haven't had trick-or-treaters in a while. So, usually the candy just goes to me. Well, most of the candy, or at least a good chunk of the candy does, because not all of the candy we buy for, Halloween I like. Halloween month, yeah, Halloween month. I like Halloween. I just like the spirit of Halloween, though. When it came to, like, dressing up in costumes and whatever, I never liked that aspect, to be honest. Even when I was a kid, I didn't really have fun dressing up in costumes. I never liked that part. I know that's part of the fun for a lot of kids, but not for me. I just wanted the candy. That's all that really mattered to me. Especially, I also really, hated picking out costumes when I was a kid, because we would go to Party City, and, I would pick out a costume I like, and my mom would always be like, "You sure you want that costume? What about that costume? Or this costume, or that costume, or that costume?" Ugh, I already told you which fucking costume I want, just buy me that one. Yeah, the process when it came to buying a Halloween costume wasn't really that fun for me. So, yeah, all in all, you know, dressing up in costumes never really appealed to me that much. That's why I've never had any inclination to do anything like cosplaying or things like that either. I'm not a fan of playing dress up. That sounds really patronizing. No, I just never really cared for costumes all that much. Fine if you like doing that, of course. Who am I to shit on your fun? Wow, an hour and 15 minutes I've been streaming. Holy shit. Seems like that happens with every stream. completely lose track of time, and then all of a sudden, I've been streaming for over an hour. There's that subject again, time going by really quickly. I don't even know why I still look at Twitter. All I do is doom scroll on it. It's the app I go to when I wanna feel depressed, read about depressing news. That's what I'm doing right now. I do look at Bluesky too, but my feed on Bluesky is a lot less active than it is on Twitter. I mean, naturally, it's a much smaller site. The main issue with Bluesky is that it's not as active as Twitter. That's kinda something you'd expect though, right? It's not even public yet. Still need an invite code to get in. Speaking of that, Guitar Rocker, have you ever had an issue giving anyone an invite code? Because the other night, I tried inviting someone else, someone in my server, Blue Sky. I promised them an invite code a few weeks ago, and for whatever reason, it wasn't working. I don't know what the fuck is going on because it tells me that I still have one valid code available. I did give an invite code to someone else in my server like a week ago, and they seemed to get it fine. Weird. I've never had that issue. Maybe try it again. That's what I told them to do, and I never got a response back. Again, the first time I gave out a code, no issue whatsoever, or at least they didn't tell me they had an issue. This time, they keeps telling them the code isn't valid. This other person told me the code isn't valid. But yeah, I do hope Blue Sky pops off when it's public. I think once Blue Sky is public, it will become more active than Twitter at some point. Maybe. I don't know if it'll overtake Twitter or anything, but or I don't know, maybe once it goes public, a huge amount of people will just jump ship and go to Blue Sky. I hope that happens. I really hope that happens. But even people I follow on Blue Sky, I do look at Blue Sky to see like who I'm following on Twitter has also joined Blue Sky, and I follow them on Blue Sky, and they usually don't post nearly as much on Blue Sky as they do on Twitter, since obviously they won't get as much engagement on Blue Sky as they would on Twitter. But I kind of wish more people were more active on Blue Sky. Maybe I'm part of the problem. I'm not that active on there either. But to really get a social media website going, you gotta post more, make it lively. and I hope that's what happens when it's made public finally. Uh, Ooh, that was building up inside me for a while. It's really satisfying to let out. Anyway, I was looking at, Blue Sky's, I think, FAQ page, around the time I first signed around the time you first gave me a code, and they did say they expect to decide to go public at around either December 2023 or the beginning of 2024, so I guess around that time it's gonna go public. I hope it does. I really wish it was already made public, though, because there was a lot of buzz surrounding Blue Sky around the time, it first launched. I hope, they I hope, they didn't completely miss the opportunity to, maintain that buzz and, have people wanna be have people enthused to sign up once it, goes public. People will probably remember when it goes public. Yeah, I do hope a big deal is made about it when it goes public, because I like the site. I really do. It's Twitter without the toxicity. I just hope that, a good amount of people join it when it does go public. But at the same time, I do kind of fear when it goes public, a lot of that toxicity from Twitter will just transfer over to Blue Sky if people do, leave Twitter in mass exodus in favor of Blue Sky. I'd rather not have, the fascists or the purity lefties that are on Twitter just, flocking on over to Blue Sky and making Blue Sky exactly the same as Twitter is. 'Cause I wouldn't be surprised if once Blue Sky is made public, a lot of, trolls that like Elon Musk will just raid the site. Yeah, but at least a lot of them will get banned on Blue Sky. Yeah, that's true. I'm sure Blue Sky has a better moderation team than Twitter does. Well, I don't even know if Twitter even has a fucking moderation team. I mean, they all got fired once Elon Musk came in, and it seems like, whenever you report a post that so clearly breaks TOS, nothing is fucking done about it. Well, I personally no, I have once reported someone on Twitter, someone who was once spamming my DMs a few years ago, because the only way on Twitter, or at least back then this was the case, the only way to get someone to, not be able to send you DMs anymore is to report them. Elon doesn't believe in moderation. He believes in moderation when it comes to lefties on Twitter, but when it comes to fascists, literally, like, posting, Nazi tier shit, anti-Semitic posts, very hateful posts against LGBT plus people, that shit doesn't really matter to him. It doesn't matter on YouTube either. I mean, you shared this in my server yesterday. YouTube allowed Matt Walsh's channel to be monetized again. I'm not surprised about that at all, though. Was expecting YouTube to eventually backpedal on that. It's such bullshit, you talk about someone like EDP. known child predator who was on this website for years, had a channel with, what, 3,000,000 subscribers? You can't talk about him without risking either your video getting taken down or your entire channel getting taken the fuck down, but you can make content that pretty much fucking, uh, advocates for the mass genocide of LGBTQ plus people, content that has contributed to real world harm, violence against, or even the death of LGBTQ plus people, but that content is fine. That can stay up on YouTube. Hell, or even reward that content by, paying the person making said content. Very, very fair system here on YouTube. Hello, EcoPunk. How are you doing? I'm doing pretty decent. I mean, I haven't really done much today besides this stream, and I don't have any big plans after this. After I finish doing this stream, but that's most days for me. Most days for me, uneventful. Whatever. I don't really care that much. Whoa! I just looked at Twitter. Leafy got banned off of Twitter. Never thought that would happen. Rip Bozo. Don't feel bad. Yeah, the troll YouTuber. That's what you want to call him. You know, the guy that had the CS:GO gameplay footage. His content mainly consisted of him insulting 10-year-olds. Leafy should have stayed banned in the first place. Well, he was banned, and then I think it was Elon that reinstated him. I don't know if Elon himself did that. I wouldn't be surprised, but after Elon took over, I think that's when Leafy got unbanned from Twitter. He must have said something really vile to get banned off Elon's Twitter, though. I mean, for months on end, he was literally saying what he wants that baby to die. I wonder what was the straw that broke the camel's back. But I, I've made believe for a long time. he even fucking believes in any of the shit he's saying about LGBT people. There's literally a post he made on Twitter saying if a trans person is hot, he doesn't care. He'll, but since since his audience, he knows what his audience is on the whole trans issue, so he's just communicating to that crowd of people, and that's why he's saying all this outlandish shit. That dude is just wants to pander, say whatever will bring any attention his way. It's 7 people are here now. Cool. Hold on, let me get into a comfier position. You like my Nirvana shirt? No, this is totally a shirt you've never seen before. I still hold the belief that I don't think it really matters that much if someone is wearing a band T-shirt or a T-shirt that has a band logo, has the logo of a band they don't listen to because at the end of the day, it's just clothing. Who the fuck cares? But I don't know. I've gotten a little this in my video, in the comment section under my video talking about that. Saying, "No, you're wrong. These people should should find something else to fucking wear. They're making us fans look bad." Okay, okay. Maybe you should. Maybe it's time for you to take your medication. Leafy has lost relevance for a while now, and for good reason. Yeah, most of his audience fucking grew up. Back in 2016, his audience mostly consisted of, like edgy 15-year-olds like me back then. I was that age, even though I didn't really like Leafy's content that much back then as well. Only for like 2 seconds, I liked his content back in 2016. But I've already been over that. Most of his audience grew the fuck up. They don't care about that kind of content anymore. It's only like, a select few people who never mentally matured past the age of 15. They're still mentally stuck in high school. Those are the people who still care about him. And those are the people who always fucking whine about, how the internet isn't edgy anymore. It's so PC. Everyone is too sensitive now. Ever think maybe the problem is you? You're the one that never matured past the age of 15. You're mad at everyone else for moving on from that phase of your lives. That you're just, mentally stuck at that part of your life. So maybe there's something wrong with you. Just a thought. What did you think of Ashton Kutcher and Mila Kunis's apology video? I didn't watch the apology video, but I heard about Ashton Kutcher and Mila Kunis, and yeah, they're very gross people, to say the least. I'm gonna head out now. It was nice talking to you. Nice talking to you too, Guitar Rocker. It's nice having you here. I'm only gonna stream for another half hour anyway, so I'll be missing that much. people past a certain age shouldn't run for office. I don't know if we should necessarily ban old people from running for office. Maybe we shouldn't have, like, 90-year-olds running for office. That's probably a little too extreme, but I don't know. I think if someone's in, like, their 70s or something, maybe late 60s, perfectly able-bodied, um, of sound mind, I don't think they should necessarily be barred from running. I mean, look at Bernie Sanders, he's in his 80s, and look at how active and sharp he is. And then you have Mitch McConnell, who's, like, the same age and looks like he's ready to keel over and die. It's really a case by case basis for me. I mean, if you're in the condition as same like same McConnell is currently, yeah, I don't think you should run. Should definitely be like cognition tests for older people who want to run, or really just cognition tests in general. I mean, know, I do think that some measure should be put in place, and there should absolutely be term limits too. That's the thing I want the most, term limits. I can't think of Wind Waker without thinking of Leaf. Tragic as fuck because that's my favorite uh, Zelda game, and I can think about that game without thinking about that shit bag. By the way, Olin, any luck with the Bluesky? I know you're having trouble with that the other night. Not yet. I haven't tried it on my phone yet, but I should get on it. Yeah, I mean, I gave a code to someone else on my server a week ago. I think. I don't think they had any problem at all. They were able to make an account within like minutes. I don't know what the problem is here. Maybe I'll try the web version again. If not, I'll do. Here, I sent you the invite again. Maybe I'll have luck this time. I don't know. Oh, another breeze is coming in through the window. That feels really nice. You still watch TJ the Amazing Atheist? I do sometimes. It's not someone I watch on a regular basis or anything. Only when a title of a video of his captures my interest, I'll sit down and watch. Like, just recently, he made a Matt Walsh response that I thought was I enjoy his content. I'm glad he didn't go the way of, like, some of the other anti-SJWs back in the day and become a full-blown fash. I actually know someone who edits for TJ. Alright, just here a minute ago. Or at least I think she still edits for him. I don't know if she still does. She's edited quite a few of his videos. Oh, low battery. It's that time of the stream again. Gotta charge my laptop. The cord can just barely reach. I'll take. I will fix that after this stream is over. I think spending a few minutes untangling cords is that. Like I was saying, another breeze just came to my window a few minutes ago. It felt really nice. Again, I'm so happy the heat wave is over. Or at least I hope it's over. And fall weather is starting to settle in, even though we're not in fall officially um, right now, but still, the summer is practically over at this point, and I am fine with that. Perfectly fine with that. Fuck the heat. Well, I mean, I'm okay with hot days and like moderation, but this summer here in NYC, it's been heat wave after heat wave after heat wave for like a month straight. Couldn't have the windows open because it was so goddamn hot. It was the air conditioner. I like nice cool days like this one where there's a nice breeze. It's weird how people like Hunter went from conservative to more left leaning. Don't know how you feel about it with his old content, with his old videos still being up. I thought Hunter took down all of his old videos. Didn't he delete all of them? Or no, I think he put them on a playlist, but they're all listed now. So he's not making any money off of those videos anymore. Garnering any views outside of people who just are curious and looking at that playlist. TJ's old anti SJWs are all still up though. think he said he does still stand by a lot of them. I think he did mention the some interest in looking back at some of his old anti-SJW points videos and analyzing what points still hold up, what points don't hold up, what he disagrees with now. I'd be interested in seeing that video series from him. I know he was kind of contemplating taking videos and maybe putting them in a playlist, having them unlisted. It was a while ago. He uh, talked about that. You're in on your phone. Oh, on Bluesky? Cool. Yep, it told me that you got in. It gives a little notification that someone created an account using your code. And I followed you. Cool. I guess it's fucky on the browser. On the web page. I don't know. I've only ever joined using my phone. Well, that's cool. You're finally free from Twitter, unless you choose to still look at it like I do. Yeah, no problem. I don't know who I'll give the third invite to. Maybe I'll just one day post to my server, "Hey, I got an invite code. Who the fuck wants it? First come, first serve." Twitter is still a joke. It will remain a joke so long as Elon Musk owns it. Brought this up. I said this earlier in this stream, but say it again. Uh, I wouldn't be surprised if it gets to the point where Elon is like, "Fuck this! I'm bored of this shit now. It's hemorrhaging money. Let me just sell off this shit." And then whoever he sells it off to just changes Twitter back to exactly the way it was before Elon owned it. Well, that's the best case scenario, but that's what I hope happens. But I refuse to ever call Twitter X. Fuck that stupid fucking name. Ads on YouTube become worse over time. I don't doubt that. A lot of people have said they've gotten shit that's essentially softcore porn as ads on this website, and YouTube does nothing about it. And now YouTube wants to take away the ability for creators to, I think, choose whether or not they want mid-roll ads. There was some kind of change that people were getting up in arms uh, over ads on this site. I forget what it was exactly, but I remember a while ago YouTube. I don't know if this actually went to effect, but YouTube was expressing interest in uh, putting ads on videos that don't have ads enabled, or videos made by people who are not even part of the partner program. So, you wanna inundate this site with even more shitty ads, and then you wonder why people wanna use shit like ad block. Like, if you really wanna force ads down people's throats this fucking much, which I get, ads, of course, bring money to this website and keeps this website running, but, you gotta have a balance. You gotta, you know, make the user experience a little bit more, a little at least a little better than it is now, because you get all these stupid intrusive ads that again, either promote scams or pretty much just fucking softcore porn, you know? That shit like that makes people less inclined to wanna look at ads on this website, so they use shit like ad block, and YouTube is trying to crack down on people using ad block. But none of this is really a problem to me because I pay for YouTube Premium, yeah. You can make fun of me for that all you want, I don't fucking care, but, yeah. I do sympathize with the people who are so fed up with ads on this website because I fucking hate internet ads too. I never browse the internet without ad block, and if you browse the internet without ad block, you are browsing the internet wrong. I've been using YouTube Premium, so I forgot what ads on YouTube are like. Yeah, I haven't seen an ad on this website in 2 years. I think it was summer of 2021 I finally started to, pay for YouTube Premium. Well, at first, it was offered free to me for, like, 3 months, and then I got so used to not seeing ads on this website that I didn't wanna go back, and I found out you can get a student discount for YouTube Premium, so that's what I pay, as opposed to, like, what, 12 bucks a month or 13 bucks a month. I only pay 8 bucks a month, 7.99 plus tax, of course, but yeah. Oh, hey, what's up, Bond Milker? Yeah, I'm only streaming for 12 more minutes. I always stream up to the, 2 hour and 5-minute mark, and my voice is starting to hurt, so yeah, I don't plan on going longer than that. The wheat greatness. Your mom's in Arizona. You have family in Arizona, right? I think you told me that once. Do you, or am I thinking of someone else? Is that why your mom's there? I'm good, just woke up from a nap, and now I'm gonna smoke a talk. Cool. Sounds fun. Yeah, your grandma's the one that lives in Arizona, yeah, I remember now. My grandma was home in Canada and bought a 50 pack of Timbits donut holes from Tim Hortons. I have never been to a Tim Hortons. I know Tim Hortons is more prevalent in Canada. I think the company is I think Tim Hortons is based in Canada, I believe, but, yeah, they're down here too, but just, they're not that popular, and there's not that many of them, I don't think, here in the States. For some reason, there's a free Tim Hortons in Detroit. A free Tim Hortons, like, you could just go in, order whatever you want, and you don't have to pay a dime. I remember your video on drugs. You still stand by that? What, the one I made last month? Yeah, I absolutely still stand by that, and I don't think nonviolent drug offenders should go to prison, and I think we should emphasize more on treatment for drug addicts rather than throwing them in a cell, but I've already talked about that a lot on stream before. I didn't mean to type free. Yeah, I figured maybe there was a typo there because the thought of the thought of a business opening and everything isn't completely fucking free. That's just. I wish reality was like that, but no, that's not the. It's not. That's not the reality we live in. We live under capitalism. I have a weed strain called Death Star OG. Weed stain. I don't think EDP 445 has kidney failure at all. Well, during the latest sting op, or at least when the, the YouTube guy or whatever his name is, JD or whatever, when he confronted him, wasn't EDP in front of a dialysis center for his kidneys? I don't know. I don't know what's true or what's not anymore when it comes to his kidney failure. The worst drug I've ever used was meth, but I've never done heroin or fentanyl. I thought she said he did fentanyl. I might be mistaken. Yeah, yeah. No, no hard drugs for me. Uh, You've never purposely done fentanyl, so you've accidentally done fentanyl. I'm just fucking. You don't think so? Yeah. Weed and someday maybe psychedelics is all I'll ever do. Oh, we're at the 2 hour mark already. Shit. In about 5 more minutes, I'll be wrapping this up. My favorite stoner snack is sour gummy worms, or for healthy stuff, I like apples. When I'm stoned, I usually just want to sleep. I really want to crack my neck, but it's not working out. Yeah, I do purposely pick out Fridays to stream because Fridays are the days I don't have any class, and weekends I usually go out and do things. So Saturdays and Sundays wouldn't be that opportune for me, or wouldn't be, I'm more likely to be busy on a Saturday and Sunday than I would be on a Friday. So that's why I pick Fridays to stream. Just any given Friday. I usually just stream one Friday a month. I used to do weekly streams way back in the day, around the time I started doing streams. So all those really old streams are deleted now because one time YouTube took down a really old stream of mine for hate speech, and a lot of my old streams I'm saying slurs left and right. So to be on the safe side, I purged all of those old streams. But I used to do streams weekly, but I didn't really have fun doing that. Like I didn't like being on such a frequent schedule for streams because there would be some weeks I'd be like, I really don't feel like doing the streaming shit today, but people expect me to do it on this day of the week, so may as well do it out of obligation. But doing it on a monthly basis is a lot better for me because you know, streaming frequently is just something that's not really for me. I'm it's obviously I'm much more of a fan of pre-recorded content than I am doing live streams. Not to say I don't have fun doing these streams, but they're just fun in, small doses for me. EDP got caught again. Your last video on him didn't age well at all. Oh, age at all. For a second, I thought that said age well at all, and I was like, oh, damn. What did I say in that video that didn't age well? Yeah, it's not really a surprise that he got caught again. I'm trying to get a job next year at a fast food restaurant. I already have a couple of friends who work at those places. Yeah, I've heard fast food jobs are hell. So good luck with that if you do get a fast food job. You're now at 2 hours and 5 minutes. Yeah, we are. Trying to think of anything I want to say before I wrap this up, but yeah, I don't think so. Just good luck if you get that fast food job, like I said, because I haven't heard many good things about working at fast food. I'm not trying to like discourage you or anything, but anyway, thank you all for tuning in. Thank you to those who were here earlier that are not here now. I appreciate everyone who hops in to these streams and participates in the chat. And so, any of you who have stayed for the full 2 hours, you're a trooper because I couldn't imagine watching myself for 2 hours continuously. Anyway, thank you for being here. Like I said, another streaming will be in sometime in October. When in October? I don't fucking know. Anyway, see ya.